A new year begins today.
For some of you, it's your first day.
For others, it's your last first day.
But all of your days at Michigan State will shape you for years to come.
This campus is full of possibilities, promise, and people determined to make a difference.
So while you're here, try something new.
Figure out what you like and what you don't. Then, do what you love.
Make the most of campus traditions.
Work in the community. Study abroad.
And join in with 75,000 Spartans to yell "Go Green."
Listen to each other.
To the sounds of the Spartan marching band.
The splash of the red cedar.
And to countless conversations that tumble out of research labs and residence halls.
There is greatness in the air here. Take it all in.
These years will be some of the most fun you'll ever have, but they will challenge you.
Along the way, you might change your major. You may change your views.
But when you leave here, you will be ready to change the world.
You are a Spartan, and Spartans will.
Greetings from Michigan State University. My name is Lindsay Sukta. Thank you so much for joining us today. In this stressful time of uncertainty across the globe, we are sending you best wishes for the health and safety of you and your loved ones. At MSU, nothing is more important to us than you, our future Spartans. We are thankful for the technology to communicate with you, and our admissions counselors are ready and available to speak with you and answer all of your questions. No matter what happens, we will always do our best to support you. You are never alone at MSU. Today, we have a special program for you. First, you'll hear from admissions counselor Sarah Bontais, who will walk you through some important information about MSU and give you the latest updates on MSU's response to the coronavirus. After that, I will moderate a panel of students and faculty who will answer some common questions and share stories of their experience at MSU. Finally, you will have the opportunity to ask questions by connecting with your admissions counselor. Thank you again for being here. Let's get started. Please welcome Sarah Bontais, admissions counselor at MSU.
Hi everyone, thanks for being here with us today. And even though this is a different format, again, like Lindsay said, we're here, we're waiting to take your questions, so please find your counselor. We'll give you that information at the end. Before we get into everything, I do want to let you know that all of the updates surrounding the coronavirus and MSU's response to it can be found at these two websites, msu.edu/coronavirus, and then the admission-specific website where you can find any adjustments or changes that might be coming towards our regular deadlines would be at that website. So pay attention. We'll communicate out with you as soon as we know any updates or changes. This is a difficult time that we're not all very familiar with, so we're doing the best we can to communicate with you during this time. All right, so let's dive in and learn a little bit about Michigan State. Congratulations on being admitted. Michigan State is a large university. We're not going to shy away from that fact that we have a very large campus of nearly 50,000 students. The thing I like to point out about that number is that the majority of our students are undergraduates. So nearly 40,000 students here are studying their undergraduate, their bachelor's degree, largely coming directly from high school. Our incoming class of freshmen last year was about 8,500, and our student body is diverse. We have students from over 140 different countries, as well as every county in Michigan and all 50 states. So students are really coming to us from around the globe, around the nation, and around the state. MSU, again, in addition to having a large student body, is a large campus. We have a 5,200 acre campus, where you can find a variety of things going on, whether you want to be out in nature or go and see shows at our Wharton Center, or have space to enjoy what you're learning in the classroom with your friends. There's space for you. MSU has 33 undergraduate and graduate programs in the top 25 nationally. So our students are studying a wide range of things, and some of these are ranked. No matter what program you're in, though, you're going to be able to engage with faculty and learn from some of the best in those professions. So these are ones that are ranked nationally, but you can find a variety of things to study. We actually have over 200 areas of study that students can choose from. And one thing to know, you may have already indicated what you want to study, but students coming in can change their mind. You're able to change your major, and we actually sort of anticipate that you might do that, which is why so many of our students come in with exploratory preference, which is our way of saying undecided. So you can have that as your major and change your mind. You'll work with your advisor to make sure that you're staying on a track to graduate, no matter what sort of changes you might have. The way that MSU works, and just so you know, we have 17 different degree granting colleges. It's not as important at this time in your career, your studies, to focus on the different college that you might be a part of, but just so you know, there are 17 different degree granting colleges, and all of our programs or majors fall under those. We do have 3 residential colleges, and those focus on specific areas, and students can live and learn in a space with students kind of focused in on their area of study. I want to encourage you students, no matter where you end up going, to take time outside of the classroom to really bring to life what it is that you're learning. So the ways that MSU encourages you to do that would be through exploring opportunities in undergraduate research, entrepreneurship, or education abroad. So students can choose to do undergraduate research in every area that we have to study. So no matter what it is that you've chosen, all 200 areas of majors that we have opportunities for undergraduate research. That's pretty unique. We're really proud of that. We have an office here on campus that will help you find those opportunities. So you're going to know that you can have opportunities coming in to do research with faculty, and that can really help you decide if you're on the right track, if you are focusing in on a specific area. So it's really something we encourage some students to do. Entrepreneurship is something that we, in the past couple of years, have really ramped up on. We have an entrepreneurship and innovation minor that pairs really well with a bunch of different majors. We want students to be prepared to enter the workforce no matter what the economy looks like. If they're going to have to be marketing themselves or being contractors with employers, we want to give you those skills to get in the economy, get in the workforce right away. You can be like I said, an entrepreneurship and innovation minor. You can also engage with some of our different student organizations. We have business incubators and different things that can help you if you have your own startup idea right now. My favorite thing for students to explore when they're students is education abroad, and it's something that I really encourage all students to consider. MSU does a great job of offering education abroad to students because we have programs that go to every continent, all 7 continents, but we also do it at different times of the year for different lengths of time. So most universities have education abroad. Typically, the way it's typically done is in semester-long programs, and sometimes that can be challenging to fit into your schedule if you have other things going on. So the way MSU is able to offer students variety of lengths of time, from 1 week to 3 weeks, 6 weeks, semester, or even a year-long program, we're able to really work with students, and that's why so many of our students are able to study abroad during their time at MSU. We have a variety of resources we want you to be aware of before you come in, but just know these resources are there to be able to help you make the adjustment and then also continue on your way all the way to graduation. So you're going to be able to find resources, academic support, student services, anything that you need support or extra resources in, we have, and we actually have right in your neighborhood. I'll get into that in a minute, but they're going to be close by and be able to help you be successful in your time at MSU. Outside of the classroom experience, we have over 900 student organizations. That's kind of intimidating to think about 900 student organizations. How can you find the right fit for you? We have an event at the beginning of the year called Sparticipation, and that's a great time to go in and meet the different student organizations, meet leadership, get to know what they're about, and find ones that connect with what you're interested in specifically. We host over 150 concerts on campus each year. Our Wharton Center brings in Broadway shows like Hamilton, Aladdin. You can go and see those. We have intramurals and sports. There's a variety of things to stay active, from our bike paths to our intramurals, athletic facilities. When you come to MSU, first of all, you're going to be able to pick your own residence hall, so you can pick your room where you want to stay. We have 27 residence halls, which makes us the largest residential hall system, single campus in the U.S. So there's space for you. We have places for you. Like I mentioned before, our campus is broken down into 5 unique neighborhoods, and in each neighborhood you can find student engagement centers where they have those resources that I mentioned before. So they're very easy for you to access. Dining halls are going to be close by, and then you can choose what kind of style you want. We have community and suite style bathrooms, and you choose one of those as you pick your residential hall. By the way, you can go to the residential website, and they can show you different views of the dorms. You can take like a 360 tour, so you will be able to see that even if you can't come directly to campus. Food's a big thing, and we have great food. A big part of your life will be, spent in the dining halls when you come to campus. So we have different dining halls that can offer a variety of foods. One of the ones that I'm really excited about is our allergen-friendly dining hall, which is new this year. Everything in there is free of the top 7 or 8 largest allergens, so it's a good place that if you have any concerns, you can eat everything in that. We have food that is produced locally or on campus as well, so we really try and source responsibly with where our food is coming from. And it's great. You can go to Sparty's if you need just a quick meal. Sparty's is like a convenience store on campus. There's a variety of things, no matter what your dietary restrictions or what you like. I'm sure MSU will be able to meet you in that. These are our different costs for in and out of state students. So you can see here what it comes out to. This is the sticker price. So just keep in mind that anything, any scholarships you might have received will be taken out of that. And something I really am proud of, I know MSU is really proud of this, is our freshman retention rate. So we have 92% freshman retention rate. It's one of the highest in the nation. We're really proud of that because despite being a large school, we still are able to make sure students are staying on the path to graduation. Our retention rate is something that tracks whether or not students come back after their first year. So it's something that all schools track, and it's an important figure to look at when you're looking at schools. What it tells us is that students are getting the experience that they would expect, and so they're able to stay on track towards graduation. We also have a 93% placement rate, so that is within 6 months of graduation, students who are able to find jobs or go on to graduate school. It's 12% higher than the national average, and you can find more information at spartansuccess.msu.edu. Again, just highlighting our engagement centers, which are found in every neighborhood and connect you with resources that you need. And we have a very large alumni base, so over 500,000 living alumni all over the globe who are able to help connect you with different internship and job opportunities and just give you advice as a fellow Spartan. We have companies coming to campus to do interviews and recruit Spartans. These are some of the companies that come and conduct interviews on campus of our students. They know that Spartans are great workers, and they're eager to find them to be able to work for their companies. If you're ready to make the commitment to MSU, here are your next steps. You have to pay your admissions deposit, your AED, and you can see all these steps here. So once you're ready, let us know by doing these next steps. And most importantly, what we want you to really know is that we're here, even though this is sort of a strange time. Your admissions counselors want to connect with you if you have any questions. This is the link where you can connect with them and find your admissions counselor. Thanks.
Thank you, Sarah. It's my pleasure to introduce our panel today. First, please welcome Jeff Beavers, Executive Director of the Career Services Network. Also joining us is Brandon Nemi and Brooklyn Navarez, current students at MSU. Brandon is a junior studying education, and Brooklyn is an undergraduate student also studying education. Thank you for being here, Brooklyn. We'll start with you. So Brooklyn, what made you decide to attend MSU?
All right, thanks, Lindsay. So I am a first-generation college student from Redondo Beach, California, which is LA-ish if you're not from LA. So I honestly really didn't have much of an idea of what college was supposed to be other than what I had seen in the movies. So for me, I was really looking for like a Big Ten, Pac-12 school. I wanted what I thought was the college experience, you know, big sports teams, Greek life, school spirit, that kind of thing. And naive me from Southern California also wanted seasons. So I applied to 14 different schools across the country that had, you know, these things that I thought I was looking for. And I committed to MSU after the first day I visited, because being on that campus, I had never met so many friendly faces. I was not used to the Midwest charm, but there's something about MSU that really is a community. And stepping onto the campus, you can feel what it means to be a Spartan. People are proud to wear green and white. And I bought a sweatshirt the next day, and I went to the Chicago airport and someone said, "Go green" to me. I get it all the time. I've gotten it in Rome. I've gotten it in California, across the world, across the country. People recognize what it means to be a Spartan. And I don't think there's any other school that can compete with the experience that we have here, whether that means, you know, you're graduating with an alumni support network. We have great professors here. The academics are amazing, tier 1 research facility. And then you have the school spirit, you know, nothing beats the football games, even though I usually don't know what's going on. It's unmatched to be around, you know, like you said, those 75,000 other people who are cheering for the same team as you. It just is such a collaborative learning environment as well. Like, people really root for each other when you're wearing green and white together. And that is why I chose MSU.
Thanks, Brooklyn. That's awesome. Brandon, what are you involved in? How did you make your friends in college?
So the first thing I got involved in when I got here was a theater club. I did theater in high school, but it was actually pretty high commitment in high school. But I got here, and the club that I joined was really, really low commitment. So we only met once a week, but I was able to meet a ton of friends through this. So I was able to do all sorts of other things on campus and through Michigan State. But I was able to join this club and meet tons of different people. Some of the other things I've been involved in are service clubs. So as Lindsay mentioned, I'm elementary education. So there are a few different opportunities that I've had to volunteer. I tutored a couple students in Lansing before through a volunteer program. I volunteered for a sports and leadership camp. So I've had tons of opportunities through volunteering as well. And the last thing I want to mention too is that all the jobs I've had on campus. I've had a few different jobs, and honestly, I've met a ton of friends just by having these jobs on campus. Like, some of my closest friends, I would say, were made through a few of these jobs that I've had. So I think there's just tons of opportunities, whether it be social, academic, or career related or job related on campus.
Thanks, Brandon. Brooklyn, can you tell us what your typical day looks like? Food on campus, staying healthy?
So I live off campus right now. My commute to class is a little bit over 15 minutes on a regular day. But living on campus, I would say it was more like 10 minutes of a walk. So one thing that we usually stress on tour, the difference between high school and college, is time management. So I always like to say, you know, in high school, you go to school from 8 a.m. to 3. After that, maybe you have your extracurriculars, your sports, you get dinner, and then you do your homework. And in college, It's not necessarily the case. I have some days where maybe I'll be in class from 10 to 4, and then I have some days where I have a class at noon and then a class again at 4. So I have like a long hour, several hour long gap. So fitting in my homework, I would say I might stop at the library in between classes to get some assignments done. Or maybe if I have a bigger gap, I would go home to like make myself lunch. When I lived on campus, though, definitely the dining halls was where I stayed. We have so many different dining halls on campus, and the meal dining plans freshman year, or I guess when you're living on campus, you do get unlimited swipes. So my friends and I sometimes would go in for lunch and then stay for a few hours because we could study in there and it was a good environment. Um, yeah, but I would say for me, something I try to do every semester is plan out like what my week is going to look like every day, so that I know when am I making time for meals, when am I making time for homework. Um, yeah, because that's a day in the life of me.
Awesome, thank you. Jeff, can you tell us, what do you think sets MSU apart from other schools?
Yeah, so I think already has been shared that our students get phenomenal experiences on campus, both in undergraduate research, through meaningful work experiences on campus, but also through the opportunities they get to work in large corporations, small companies, and places where they can really apply their academic skills. So our strong academic programs and this combination of experiential learning actually leads to one of the highest student success rates in the country. In fact, I think your slide showed 93%. That was from 2018. and 2019, it was even higher. We were at 95% of our undergraduate bachelor's degree candidates and graduates were either employed or were continuing their education at graduation or shortly thereafter. And that, again, is the result of having very strong student talent, but it's also about some very strong employer relationships. Last year, we had also over 86,000 job postings from employers seeking to hire MSU talent. And to help facilitate that, we also had 45 different career fairs and networking events for employers. So the combination of having well-prepared students and strong employer partnerships really sets us apart as an institution.
Awesome, thank you. Brandon, can you talk to us about what type of opportunities you've had at MSU?
Yeah, so I've tried to take every opportunity that I've had the chance to take. So I've participated in a couple of education abroad programs, which, as we learned earlier, there are 275 or more programs. So I participated in one that went to Tanzania, and we studied physical education and health in Tanzania. So we were able to work with university students from one of the universities over there. And I still stay in contact with a few of them today. So we worked on projects and got to tour a bunch of schools in a bunch of different communities. And then I did a similar program the year after that to a few countries in Europe. And so we specifically studied educational policy and teacher preparation in Europe. And also worked with university students over there that I still stay in contact with. So it's pretty incredible. It made the world seem a lot smaller, and I would highly recommend taking advantage of that if you do come to Michigan State. And the other thing that I really took advantage of were the opportunities through the College of Education. So one thing that I was able to do was there's a program called the Urban Immersion Fellowship. And so it's a paid fellowship to go down to Detroit and work in their summer schools for a summer. And for education, I found it's really hard to find paid internship opportunities. So the fact that Michigan State offered that and I was able to participate in that was really incredible. And I loved the kids and I learned so much, and I'm going to be a better teacher because of it.
Awesome, thank you. Jeff, quickly, can you touch on how do career services support our students from day one?
Yeah, when students first come to campus, we begin working with them on career interests. So not really looking at a major and how that results directly in a career, but more about what are the possibilities that come with that skill set. So beginning with orientation and the summer experience that those students have on campus, we begin helping them think about how to look at a parallel career plan or look at the options that would come available and think of different pathways to ultimately be able to apply that particular major or skill set to a career that is of interest. So part of that is through a number of exploratory workshops and programs and activities that we have, but it's also including a number of visits to industry tours. It's connecting them with alumni. As we showed earlier in the slides, 576,000 alumni worldwide. We have a platform that helps connect those alumni and students together so that students can also really discover career paths through alumni mentoring and networking.
Awesome, thank you. Brooklyn, quickly, could you touch on what was the hardest transition you had coming from high school to college?
I would say, sort of touching on what I had talked about earlier, definitely the time management was one thing that was hard for me. But I would say another thing is learning the difference between a teacher and a professor. I would say in college, you definitely have to advocate for yourself a little bit more in classes. It's not that professors don't care about you, it's just that they have a lot more students to care about than teachers typically do. Whereas, teachers are able to know what's going on in all their students' lives constantly. But professors don't have that opportunity. So I would say utilizing office hours was something that really helped me. This is a time once or twice a week where professors are literally just in their office waiting for students to come talk to them. So anytime I was struggling with a concept or making business about an exam or a paper I had coming up, going into my professor's office hours to just get a little bit of support was definitely helpful. And then just knowing to reach out if you're struggling in a class. We have so many different tutoring services available on campus. We have writing centers located all around, as well as math learning centers, where people are there just ready to help you with your writing assignments or your math assignments. So I would say just learning to advocate for yourself a little bit more, because all the resources are there. The professors want to help you. It's just you seeking them out and knowing when it's time for you to ask for help.
Yeah, that's awesome. Brandon, if you could give any advice to a student coming to MSU, what would that be?
The best advice that I could give is if you need help, like Brooklyn mentioned, go see your professors. There's a bunch of different tutoring options that you can utilize. So I'd utilize those resources right away. If you're struggling with anything, don't be afraid to ask for help. Professors are more than willing to help. There's just so many options. And it's better to go earlier than to go later. So really keeping up on your work, making sure that you don't fall behind if you do have any questions. I really am not a huge fan of math, but there is a math learning center on campus that I spent several nights a week in, several evenings getting tutoring help. So I would recommend utilizing those resources, a lot of them that are included in your tuition. And just a little thing, like I said, I was involved in quite a few things on campus. I would also recommend getting involved because that is, I think, the best way to meet friends is you can meet them through things they're interested in. When you join this club, they at least have one thing in common.
Thank you. And thank you to everyone on the panel today and to all of you admitted students who have joined us. You can connect with your admissions counselors directly by going to this page. Just select your state and you'll see your counselor's contact information. They are standing by and looking forward to connecting with you and answering your questions. In addition, we'll be adding more resources about paying for college in the upcoming weeks. From all of us at MSU, we wish you good health, peace, and comfort. We hope to see you on campus as soon as possible so we can all come together as Spartans. Go Green!